So to quickly recap here, we have forwarded the IP address to IPStack, we have received a response that includes the security data, and now we're going to analyze that security data using the weights that we established before to determine how risky that IP address is. So I've called this calculate fraud score, and it takes that security object that was returned to us by the API. And we'll start out with a score of 0, and then we're basically just going to walk through every parameter on that object and add a numerical value based on those weights that we looked at earlier. So as you can see, an elite proxy, we think that's pretty risky, but just a distorting or transparent proxy, we don't think that is quite so risky. If it's a Tor proxy, we think that's pretty risky, but these ones we don't think are so risky. We add a little bit more to the score, depending on what it is. And then when we get to the end, we are going to return an object with a numerical value for our raw score, and then a risk level that we have determined using a couple of helper functions here that's basically going to tell us whether this is a severe threat, a high threat, a moderate threat, or just a low threat. So now, if we go back to index.js, instead of just logging the data that we got back from the API to the console, we are going to create a fraud score from it. So we'll call it fraud score, and we'll do it by basically passing that data into that function. And then instead of sending back just this hello world string, we're actually going to send back that fraud score object. We use that to determine how risky the address is, and then we send a fraud score back to the client so the client can decide what they want to do with this user.